Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. You know it's your girl Ancelena Versatility Boy, the versatile one. The channel where you get a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So guys, it is another Tuesday. Let's talk program. And this evening, we will be talking about single parenting, the pros and the cons of single parenting. I have invited some persons on this evening who will be coming on just to share their experience of being a single parent. All right, so I hope you will stay tuned for the duration of the program. And also, you can, make your give your contribution by texting in the chat. I don't know who I'm talking to because I don't see anybody on us yet, but yes, I'm still talking. Welcome, 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 B Designs. How are you doing this beautiful evening? It's a rather beautiful evening, cool and nice because it was raining earlier. So the evening is cool and nice. How is it going, B Designs? Welcome, welcome, guys. I see two persons watching. Welcome, happy to have you over here. Can just say hi or great evening, good evening, so I can know who it is that is on. If it's any of my invited guests who will be speaking this evening. All right, guys. So in the meantime, I am going to go ahead and share out the live. Okay. Oh, it's my mother-in-law is on. She will be one of our speakers this evening, guys. Welcome, Miss Powell. Welcome. Happy to have you over here. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and subscribe. That's my mother-in-law, guys. Did I just mention that? I don't remember. Yes. All right, so I'm gonna try and see if I can share this out. I need to mute myself. Yes. You are welcome. I see five persons are on. Please say hi so I can acknowledge you, please. Thank you. Happy to have you on board this evening. Okay. So another of my speaker. Welcome, Tanisha. All right, guys. So even though I will only have female presenters this evening, It's not because I am biased or I'm leaning to female single parenting, but rather because I could not find a male. All right, so there is no bias in my selection. I was looking, I was searching, I was hoping to get a male single parent to come and speak, but there was none. All right, so there is no bias in it. All female this evening. All right, so I am going to share the link that you will be using to join me here on the platform this evening to speak. Okay, Tanisha, no problem. All right, so that's the link right there that is pinned to my screen right there that you are going to use. You're just going to click on it, ensure that you enable your camera and your microphone in order to join. If you do not permit that, then I cannot add you to the studio. Once you come on, then you can mute your camera. You don't have to show your camera, as I said before. All right. Okay, Brown, it's a good evening. Kind of hot though, despite all. Mandeville hot right now. Mm? Are you in the warm? It's cool and nice here. We got a lot of rain down here in Clarendon. Didn't get a lot in Ace, but surrounding areas, Mapen and so forth, it rained quite a bit. Huh? Look at my student proudness book. Woo, you know, you see the bro. Oh God. So who's gonna join me first? So also this evening we will also have persons speaking um as being a product of single parenting. All right. So we will also hear from, yes, the child and also the parent this evening. Oh, you were in Clarendon. So you couldn't text me and tell me say that Clarendon and you're there haze and all of this place. Yeah man, we get raining haze in later on in the evening. We got some rain. A lot. I so you deal with me these days. Hmm? You just come through and you couldn't link me there. Lionel told me they're at school today. So even if me just come out and look and say, hey, you're passing a taxi. Yes, me have to load it up. Me have to load it up. Yes. Me have to load it up. Yeah, load it up in the chat, so me I load it up here. So oh God. Who is going to join me on the platform? Miss Powell, are you ready to join me? I am sometime after 5. Or going down or heading back out. I feel your business. Oh, okay, okay. All right, guys. So I am just waiting. It appears none of my presenters are ready to join me on the platform. All right, guys. So I see A. I'm not sure who is A. Oh, it looks like I'm a mother-in-law. Okay. Okay, A.
I don't used to these things, I don't used to it. So,
Oh God,
uh,
welcome. I'm happy to have you on here. Guys, this is my mother-in-law here, Miss Powell. Oh, this gone there. To put the thing there. Layout. Hey, Sister Meryl, welcome. I hope you come. Can you hear me? All right, Tanisha, you're back. You may join me on the platform here, please, and thank you. All right, so while we wait for others to join, I want this to be, I want the layout right. They can see all of us equally. All right. So while we wait, let me just remind us again what is our topic of discussion this evening. This evening, we are looking at single parenting, the pros and the cons. So, what is single parenting? We all know what is single parenting, right? One parent or one person, one individual bringing up a child or children with the absence of a spouse, a father or a mother. So this can also be due to divorce. The person is widowed. That simply means that one parent died, the partner died. It could be as a result of abandonment. It could be as a result of domestic violence. It could be a result of a breakup. It could be as a result of rape. Great evening, Sister Chantel. Welcome. Happy to have you on board. You may use the link that is pinned to my screen to join us here on the platform. So we also have the pros and we also have the cons of single parenting, but I will not make mention of those until our speakers, those individuals, those single parents who are on the platform this evening, and they will be sharing their experience with us. All right. So, Miss Powell, you are the first one here. Do you want to go ahead and just share with us your experience of being a single mother, raising your children all by yourself and now raising your grandchildren all on your own once again? So the floor is yours.
All right, good evening, everybody.
Greeting.
Um, being a single mother, um, challenge, um, good and bad,
Yes.
you know.
Pros and
But
cons. Yes.
I was just when you called me earlier when I was just thinking. Um, I remember when I have the first child. I me no 16-year-old, me no know how to raise, me no know how to raise him. Um, and I remember I came home from hospital and I just as a sinner, I just I sit in the room, don't know what to do, and I just lift him up and say, God, me ask if you take care of him. So as a single parent, I would encourage single mothers, single father to grow their child, let them know God. Most important thing, let them know God. Grow them in a fear of God, even if you're not Christian.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those you try not do certain things around them. Well, if you're a sinner, so you do it out a road, carry in a house, make them see. You know,
Yes. Live an
um,
exemplary life.
yeah. Make them go church. Put them down. Make them have low self-esteem. You love them.
Yes.
Um, you try your best take care of them
Thank you, Brown.
in
My
every way
mother.
you can. Sit with them, talk to them, let them be your friend.
Yes.
You supposed to be the friend. You supposed to be them best friend.
Yes.
Yeah, best friend, but let them know that you is in control.
Yes.
Show them respect, and then we show you respect. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So also, what about, all right, so I know that you were a single mother growing a boy, not one boy, but two boys. How did you feel the absence of the male figure in the house? Because we all know that the male kind of play a certain role in the home as a father figure, especially for boys. how was that? So how was that challenge for you?
All right. Me have a stepfather. Me have a stepfather. I mean a
Okay.
brother. Me have a brother,
Okay.
and you know, um, they stand. They, they stand. They take the man place. Them
Yes.
stand. Yeah.
Okay. So there was the man head in the house. All
Yes.
right.
And then me have some good neighbor as man. Men. Me
Yes.
have some good neighbor. And then talk to them, encourage them. If they see them on the street a higgle, then draw them up. So,
Mm-hmm.
mhm. Then take care of them. Then take care of them.
Okay. Okay. So you
Mhm.
had a community basically then helping you,
Yes,
assisting you to
yes,
raise
yes,
your children as a
yes,
single mom. Very good.
yes. We have a community.
Okay. All right, Miss Cole, thank you for sharing. If you want to add anything else as we go along, feel free to do so. All right, Tanisha,
Okay.
are you ready to speak?
Good night, everyone.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. What's the question?
Hmm? No, man, you're just speaking on the general topic, single parenting, the pros and the cons. As a single mother, what is your
Oh,
experience? So you're sharing your experience.
okay. Being a single mother, um, life can be challenging, very much so at times,
Mm-hmm.
especially in the case where you have to go to work and you don't have any, not only work, but you have places to go and you can't go because you have no one to really keep the child at home. And if you ask for it to the child to keep ask someone to keep a child somewhere else, then in the night you'll have to maybe find a taxi to pick up the child and then to go home, or the child would have to stay overnight wherever you get them to keep, wherever you get persons to keep that child, or you can't go.
Yes.
And there are certain opportunity that you miss. Maybe I've missed a lot of opportunity having my child because I had my child when like 15 days before my 24th birthday. So, and after having that child, I was living with my father, which is my first child. So that child of male figure around, which would be my father. Then I move and come and live at his, where it's just us, me and our mostly. And then sometime maybe have nieces and maybe nephew around, but never really have much adult. My mother used to live overseas, as you know, and then now when she's living here, she work out, so she come in on weekends. So basically, I live at an all girls home, only female, no male around. So all the male repair and stuff, I would have to do them myself, like fixing the pipe and stuff. Around the house. Where maybe if I was living at daddy, I would say, "Daddy do this, daddy do that." Me
Yes.
living here at my mother's house, I have to do all of that and so on. So basically, it is really challenging.
So
And
sometimes it's a bit
next thing
overwhelming.
again, next thing again, it is kind of hard for you to maybe date somebody because you don't want to bring them home to let the children see you dating before the dating become mature, where you decide, say, all right, you're going to get serious or so on. And then
Mm.
again, you can't go out because you have no one to keep the child. So it's kind of rough. It's kind of rough, but and then next time again, you have like maybe you want to go to church at night, but they have school in the morning, or you want to go some concert or so on, and they have school in the morning, and you can't really bring them out. So it makes sense. Sometimes you have to stay home with them or so on, or in times like this now where my daughter is studying for CSEC, you have to careful pulling her from our studies to go places or to leave her with the smaller ones. So it's really rough, but I believe sometimes in single parenting, sometimes it's
Mhm.
not really that rough because maybe you would have a stepfather at home. Say, for instance, I got married and I have a stepfather for them. I'll be on the road maybe thinking about what would be happening at home now, knowing what is going on.
Yes,
So
yes,
I don't know. When I leave her at home, I feel a bit safer, knowing that we have the grills and the bars, and then you cover them under Jesus before you leave, and
yes,
then you go wherever and come back. But then there is nobody else in the house to molest them or whatever, or maybe he will say things to hurt their feelings or so on. So even though it is challenging being a single parent, sometimes thinking about the flip side of it, they are more protected. You one having to say some stuff and put them on a certain rules. You don't have anybody to pull to the other side. So maybe you leave a rule and then you have your husband, your spouse, their father or whatever will be there or next adult aunt, grandparents or whatever. They're spoiling them while you left a rule and they are saying that, no, so you're not have to do that and, have them as spoil them. So at least sometimes single parent kind of have the children less confused, more likely, less confused.
yes, that's
Basically, that
true.
is what I have to say.
I believe so too. All right. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for joining and sharing. So you feel free to add anything else that you want to add. Sister Chantel, are you ready?
Good evening, Deaconess. Good evening, everyone on panel and everybody that is joining. Right.
Good
So
evening.
for me, being a parent is a full-time job. It is indeed a full-time job because you basically have to do every single thing before even going to work, right? So you wake up in the morning, you have to be preparing kids for school, their breakfast, getting yourself ready for work, preparation to pick up, dinner in the evening, and every single thing, the whole
Oh,
works.
yeah.
So being a single parent, it is really, really more challenging for anybody, whether the mom or the dad.
That.
It is challenging on both sides, right? And in general, parenting with both parents around, um, it would be much easier because at least you can share the work. But when you're a single parent, you basically have to be. All right. So, for example, you have this meeting. I remember there was a time when my daughter meeting PTA clash with my sons, and I have to attend one, leave early, and attend the other. So, um, single parent, I guess you find more time for your children because it is just you and them, right? I guess for me, you actually show them more love, knowing that you are the only person there for them. And it is amazing though, the type of bond that you would share with them, the type of love you would give to them is just totally different because you wouldn't be depending on and say, hey, daddy is here. So go to daddy to do this or go to, that they are solemnly depending on you, right? For me, um, if it was my choice, I wouldn't be a single parent because I would prefer my kids to go with both parents. But unfortunately, it's just us. But I am enjoying the single parent life. I have one on each side each night to sleep with. So in that way, it is so very comforting. And I will not say it is not challenging. It is because, oh boy, the entire daily routine alone. I understand just doing the daily works alone. It is kind of stressful and it's hard. But a single parent automatically becomes stronger. They become more loving. They work twice as hard as anybody else for me, right? They try to make their kids comfortable. They try to do the right to make the kids know that, hey, this is the right thing to do. This is wrong. They try to grow them in a better manner. They try to give them the best life possible, right? Because of the entire situation. So single parents, um, it is a full time job. That is my two piece.
So it is a full-time job plus your job.
That
So
is
I
right.
would so I would say single parenting, it takes a superwoman or a superman to be effective, to be an effective parent, because I can share my experience. I have my husband, I have my husband with me, and we're both raising our daughter. And let me tell you, sometimes it is so overwhelming just to balance everything, work, school, home, and my daughter, and get everything done. So I can just imagine a single parent having to take care of everything and still ensuring that, hey, quality time is spent with my child. Because sometimes, in a single parent family, and Sister Mariella soon come over to you because I know you're a woman of knowledge and wisdom, and I always want to hear from you. So as I was saying, sometimes the children, sometimes they may feel left out because mommy is always at work, daddy is always at work. Sister Chantel, she mentioned earlier that she's able to spend quality time with her kids, but you have other kids who feel that, oh, mommy is not spending enough time with me, or daddy is not spending enough time with me. And as a result, sometimes this allow our children to be drawn to the wrong person. Can any of my single parents on here speak to that? Not only your experience, but what you think about that. Your child not being able to give your child adequate attention, spending time with them enough, so they are drawn to other person, and they're sometimes drawn to the wrong person, looking for the comfort, looking for the attention. Yes, Tanisha, your mic is open. You're gonna speak up to that?
I believe it is two sides to that part, you know. They,
Yes.
some of them become antisocial as well. They not only draw to other persons, but sometimes they don't. They withdrawn. They stay to themselves. They don't really talk much to others.
Okay.
Whenever
Because
time they reach
they
the
look for
point to reach
attention.
out, they may reach out to somebody else and maybe reach out to the wrong person. But
Right.
there are times when they don't reach out to anybody. They keep everything to themselves, and then they complain that you're not spending enough time and whatever, but not understanding that you're doing your best.
Yes. So in that case, what can you do? What can you do if you see that happening in your household? What can you do?
All right, if the person withdrawn, definitely you'd have to try and see what is the problem. But there are times we're so busy that we hardly recognize that there is a problem. And
Mm-hmm.
sometimes when you recognize the withdrawn, the antisocial behavior, it is kind of a bit late. So maybe you have to go to counseling or something of the sort. Because sometimes it is too big for you as a single parent to deal with. Because you know within yourself that you're trying your best, and then the child is saying that you're not doing enough when you can't do any more. So it tend to upset you, and then it can put you, the parent, into depression, which you know that definitely
Yeah.
is worse instead of better. So it makes sense if you find out that that is happening, you try and get counseling so both of you can
Yeah.
deal with stuff. Right, right. Where the child now um attached to somebody else, that's another issue because it is hard for you to convince the child that that person is not bringing the child in the right way or leading the child into the right way, right? And maybe that person is the type of person that if they find out that you're trying to pull the child from them, it can cost you, the parent's life. You understand? It can cost your life. So it is kind of difficult. And as I said, in that case, I think it's best you guys seek counseling because maybe the counselor would say something and know exactly. They're professional. They know what to say. They know what to say. And in that case, again, the child would have to look into their self and see what they really want and see if that person that they're joined to, if whatever the counselor said to them they look for or whatever, if it is something wrong or something right that person is saying or doing. Because if that child cannot find the wrong or the right between that, then you're the parents in serious trouble.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Tanisha, for sharing. Anybody else want to speak to that? All right.
All right.
Okay.
In
Go.
regards to what Sister Tanisha said, I think it depends on the child age group.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it's an older child, you would have that level of communication with them to talk to them and help them to understand that this is mommy job, this is what daddy has to do, or this is what mommy have to do, and it takes this and it takes that. So you will talk to them so they understand really what is really happening. If it's a younger child, young children really need attention and time with parents. So in that way, it will be easier for them to draw to somebody else who they are seeing every day, who they are really spending more time with, talking to, playing with, and all of that. So, for example, the child is at school, right? Some children are drawn to the teacher. The teacher takes care of them at a daycare and stuff like that. So in that way, I believe that they will be more attached to that person. But an older child or children, they will understand if you explain to them and that level of communication is there.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So studies have shown that boys who are grown in a single parent family, especially by a mother with the absence of a male figure or father in the home, they are more likely to be on the wrong side of justice. And also for girls, that they are more exposed or they are more prone to become teenage pregnancy, to be a part of teenage pregnancy. Can anybody speak to that? Is there any truth to that? Boys being on the wrong side of the justice and girls becoming pregnant as
I don't.
teenager
I
because
have two boys.
because yes, yes, Miss Paul.
I have two boys. No, they are good boys. They are good boys, and my daughter passed away, and my daughter start having kids at 20 something. So
Okay, so you don't have that experience. But do we
that
see it though? Do we see it happening in society though? Even if it's not happening to us. Have we ever observed that in society?
Yes, of
yes,
course, that happened.
yes, yes,
And
Hold on, go
Miss
ahead.
Powell, some people are better parents, or I should say, have better understanding or do some form of parenting in a better way than
Parenting
some. So me
skills.
will grow my daughter, my son in a way that they will never depart, right? And they will stick to the good. But you have some parents who are not as us, so their child or children will, well, it can be peer pressure just the same, and they follow enough company
Yes.
or something of that sort, which doesn't even reflect
Mm.
on the parents, because sometimes the child at home, they are these good children and they behave and everything in your sight, but going out there, meeting different people, school
Mm-hmm.
classmates, schoolmates, and companies otherwise, we may not know that is happening. And so they may in the wrong company,
Yes.
you don't know. You understand?
Um,
So
that's
in
why
that way for me, yeah.
when you're single parent, you
That is
have
true.
to you have to try go PTA meeting, you know, send the kids them, join them go church, send them make them go church, go PTA meeting, know who is them friend, know who and them a hang out. You understand? Yeah, just take some precaution. There's some
I
precaution.
like where you're going with school. Yes, I like that advice. Yes.
Just take
So
some
what
precaution.
you're
Know them
basically
friends.
saying,
Yeah. Sometimes, you coming from
so you're
work. Sometimes
basically
you coming
saying that we
from
have to
work.
be involved, and be
Yes,
present
yes.
in your child's life.
So-
Know what is going on.
Yes. Sometimes you coming from work. Although, you go in a room, lay down with them on the bed, talk to them, hear what them say, sit down and listen what them a talk, just question them. Just question them. Find out what happened today at school. What happened today? What happened on the street? Ask them, talk to them,
Yeah.
and then we open to you. Then we talk back to you.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Tanisha, you have anything else to add?
The school, going to school, visiting the school, and all of that is a good thing, and being involved in the child life. But
Yes.
Yes.
sometimes we do have certain challenges at work as well. I used to work at a place where I get no time to go to PTA. No time to
Mm.
go to PTA. Because when it's PTA meeting start at 3, and I leave work at 4, and sometimes maybe it's peak time at work and I have to stay over for a while. And when you talk about PTA to the boss, it causes problems. So it makes sense you say nothing and just do the work as you
Mm.
want to like money for buy food for you penny them. So there
Mm.
are a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah.
As parents,
Yeah.
we do have a lot of challenges. We have challenges like in every situation. We have a lot of roadblocks, a lot of obstacles. And the only thing I can say about single parents, trust me, prayer. As long as God is in
Yes.
the midst, it
Yes.
will work.
Amen.
That's all I can
Yes.
say.
Amen.
Because I have,
Amen.
me being a single parent, I have a lot of roadblock. And sometimes I reach to a point where all me can do is say Jesus. And then I just pray and pray and pray and pray and I see things fix and fall into place. That's all. I do know all my child friends, even know their parents. Believe me.
Yes.
My daughter has
Mhm.
2 friends at school, and I know one of them mother, and I know the other one both mother and father. I have numbers
Mm.
for them. I can call them and stuff like that. So I
Yes.
am that involved and so on. And even our friends, like they will come to me for advice and so on. So I don't know, but still at the end of the day, sometimes my daughter find it
Yes.
hard to come to me
Yeah.
for advice, and sometimes she will come to me for advice. Sometimes she don't want to tell me certain things because she don't want pressure me because she know me I go through certain struggles already. And sometimes me don't know. But trust me, it really not easy to deal with them when they reach teenagers. when them small and you can talk to them, because I used to talk to my daughter being small, 5 year old, 6 year old. Yeah, Mr. Tim, say, this is it. We have this to eat today, and we're gonna share it in two, and we have some for tomorrow. Cause I may have
Mm-hmm.
something else, but whenever time I go work and come home, I'm gonna be tired because I'm coming home to wash. So we have to cook this evening and share the food for this evening and tomorrow. So we had up some tomorrow and whatever. And she understand. And there are times when I have
Mm.
classes and I leave the food and I say I take it from the freezer and I put it in the bottom of the fridge in the cooler, and I said to her, when you reach home, you have to hot it up, so you put it in the microwave and then you have your dinner because
Mm.
I'm not coming home early. When you reach home, you close up the door, you stay inside. And you need to study, you need to do your homework and whatever. When I come home, the homework done and all of that. And stuff like that. But believe me, I think being a single parent, as long as you have God in the midst, things will fall into place
Amen.
easier. Me just believe
Mm.
that. Because I
Yes,
don't know, I
yes.
cannot tell you that I do the single parents thing. I can tell you that God do it for me.
Amen.
Because it's not easy.
Yeah.
But Tanisha, you mentioned that because of your job, you're unable to go to PTA and other meetings. So what I would encourage, well, Tiana, so probably out of school now, but as
No,
your
no,
daughter,
not my job
oh,
no, and not my job no. I'm no longer
yeah,
working there now.
okay, but what we
But I
can
had
do
that
to
challenge.
single parents can do if they're challenged by that because of work they are unable, ensure that you have the teacher's number, ensure that
Yes,
you have the
yes.
number so you can still
Remember, it is
call
easy for
after
high school.
PTA and just
It is easy for
but I
primary, but when you reach the high school, they no longer have one teacher. And I realize with the high school now, they tend to block you, the parents, from seeing them at certain time. They're saying that
oh,
school is over now, so you should come in the day, and they don't understand that you can't come at that time. So by the time I reach
oh,
here to talk to teacher not have time to talk to me because teacher want go yard.
I understand that your
And in the
parents
morning,
them
teacher
can
too
because
busy.
them can text me all when me asleep sometime and I see till tomorrow morning. Then text me as them please because sometimes really for fact as teachers we have to be very accommodating. We have to set boundaries too. So me I talk from the teacher's perspective right now. We have to set boundaries, but we have to understand too because parents like you working and they're unable to message or to come by the school at a certain time. So we have to accommodate and facilitate you, assist you wherever we can so you can also be involved and know what is going on taking place in your child's life. So that is something that we can do. We see the I, Mommy Jason. Your son is saying I Miss Powell. That is in the chat. I guess later on he will come and share being a product of a single parent. Oh, he's going up. All right. We're saying get peer
Going
beaten.
to my boy.
All right, so he will come on and he will share later. So go ahead, Mr. Boyd, and prepare yourself so you can come on and share. But my final question that I will pose, or maybe not the final or the second the last one, that I will pose to my single parents here online is about finances, managing your finances. Because the pros and the cons, when I look at it, it says as it relates to the finances, there is a decrease in the finances. So sometimes as single parents, you might be in a little want or in a little need. How do you balance out your finance? And for the pro now, it says that you are better able to manage your finance. So I don't know. Do you anybody want to speak to that as it relates to your finances? And when it comes to finances, that is a
All
touchy
right.
topic.
Let me see if I can go with the financial aspect of it.
Yes.
The thing is, if you are a single parent, having receiving money from the other parent, the other party, then the wife or the husband or whoever, helping you with your money that you earning and all of that, it will be easier to deal with.
Yes.
Yes, because you are the one that managing what is coming in from your income and from the other side. And so you know how to, balance it off, save a little, do whatever. But when
Let
you
me just pause
alone
you
now,
there to welcome Mrs. Ebert. Hi, Mrs. Ebert. Welcome. Happy to have you over here. Continue, Tanisha. Sorry.
all right, when you alone now earning, sometimes the money that you earn is not enough to pay the utility bills and find food, then send you back to work. And there are other stuff at school that you need to pay, like extra curriculum activities and so on and so forth. You pay for
Yes.
children, yes. So different things pop up. And sometimes you have to pay for extra classes and all of that. Those are extra money. And sometimes that has to come from you. And sometimes you don't even have enough to find to cover your bills and so on. And that will lead you now to need an extra cash, you need an extra job on the side. Maybe you can do something at
Mm,
home, or after you leave work at 4, you go to another work 5 hours for an extra 5 hours. That is that 5 hour keeping you away from home as well. So you have less time to spend with your children in that
yes.
case. But I believe that if you're a single parent and you have a full-time job and you can get something, you can do something at home that can help to boost your finance, then that would be good. And do something that your children can involve. So you can spend time with the child or children while
Yes.
you're earning money. So like me now, having the chicken thing at home. So when I go to work in the morning, because the other day I was working. So I wake up in the morning and I sort out the chickens and so on, get ready for work, go to work. When my daughter come home from school, she check the chickens, give them water, turn on the light, drop down whatever, and then when I come in, I go back in there and I double check. So sometimes now, like I am home, sometimes both away doing it. 'Cause you have you may have the weekend, and the weekend
Yes.
you're going to have a lot of work. So in that case, now you get the child and you're inside there now, you doing whatever in the cupboard, and you ask the child to fill the water. In the meantime, you guys talking.
Right.
What
So you're
happened
still
today?
bonding while you work.
Right. What
That's a
happened
very
all
good
week
one.
at school? Because you maybe come in and the rush and all of that, you can't get to ask about school. You try to prepare that you try to ensure that other thing, other aspect, but you don't touch the our school today. What happened at school? Because sometimes the children have some story, you just need to ask. They're
Yes.
willing to tell us some things they have at school. Because there are stuff
Mm,
that I know that is going on, mostly with teenager. I learned them mostly from Tiana. Most of what's
Yeah.
happening with teenager and so on. Because me really don't have the time to watch too much. I don't watch the news and all of that sometimes. So
yes,
sometimes I
that's
get it through
true.
I heard stuff through she said whatever, whatever, whatever. So at least we're bonding and earning at the same time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Tanisha, for
Right.
sharing. Sister Chantel, do you have anything to add to that? The finances?
Well, um, being a single parent, and when it comes down to the money there, based on the amount of children you have to budget,
Yes.
right? If it's one or two, you can do a little more spending based on your job too. Some of
Yes.
us still working at minimum wage and we can go supermarket with it. Right? Some of us have a better job and it is still difficult to see a way through being a single parent. Right? So being a single parent and the financial, you really have to know what you're doing, what you're spending, put the very most important things first. Make sure so you have stuff in your house, your bills are paid, the children are taken care of. And the way I see it, I tend to put myself last and put the kids and
It's
the whole
first.
things at first. So you really have to watch your spending and budget in regards to what you're doing,
Yes.
right?
Do you
Because
think it's
cost of living
important
going up.
to get your child or your children in when you're doing your budget? Do you think it's important to get them involved? Show them and let them know, explain to them, this is what mommy have, this is what daddy have, and this is what we are going to use it for. Do we see an importance
Okay,
in that?
okay, easy.
I don't think so, because the parent would understand more, right? But in
Okay.
terms of what they need, you'll make sure that is there. So they
Okay.
don't really fall short in that area,
Okay.
right? And for the older ones, where they would fall short, sometimes they may go seek it elsewhere,
Right.
right? So you try to make sure that they are put first and they are comfortable. That's the way I see it. To put the
Yes.
kids first and to make sure say everything is taken care of in the house.
But though, in some cases, you mentioned earlier about some parents, still working at the minimum wage, not really getting much. So sometimes your daughter or teenager, they might be having something at school or a friend, a party or something, and she would come and said, "Mommy or Daddy, I need this or I need that," and you're unable to get it for her at that particular time. But explaining to her and letting her know beforehand that, guess what? I get paid every 2 weeks, or I get paid monthly, and this is what we have to spend on X, and this is what we have to spend on Y. So that too will teach them understanding and let them know you don't need to go and look it also in different places, because if mommy and daddy had it, then we would have spent it on you. So sometimes we have to go through the little process to share. Probably not pinpoint everything, but you just go through
Right.
the process and let them know this is what we have, and this is what we can do at this particular time with what we are earning.
I agree with you. And
Yeah.
we must also know that we should always put a little aside,
Yes.
right? Because saving is very important. You don't know what can just come up like that, and you
Yeah.
will have to rally to that. So you should always
Have
put a
something
little
in
thing
kitty.
right there, right?
Thank you. All right, Miss Powell, anything to add as it relates to finances? I don't remember if you spoke on that. Your mic is muted.
Um, we have sister we always help. We have a sister will always help me and my stepfather, my mother
Yeah.
husband, my mother. So it's like a family. It's like I'm a brother. So so me always get help. But
Okay.
when me work, and me sometimes when me work, because I me send them school. I me send them me mostly send them go school. So
Yes.
sometimes me work when me work and show me time. Maybe me just have the Monday, the money fi go school the Monday. For the balance of week, me not have no money, but God still provide.
Okay.
Yeah, God still, as long as me show me tithe, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, me say money just come in that me can send him go school for the week. So God, as I me say, you can trust God upon that. You can trust God
Yes.
to help you with your kid. You can trust God to help you with your kids them. You can trust him. And cure money little. Say if you can show your tithe.
Where you pay your
You
tithe,
can
man. Worship with
pay
your
it into
tithe.
the
Yes.
bank.
important.
It's very important because when you throw a little, God bless. Actually, you don't know God stretching. You understand? Yeah.
All right,
So.
thank you so much, ladies, for sharing. No, before I invite Jason and Glacia to speak, I have two products. They said they are products of single parenting, so they're here to share their experience, to share their story. But before they come to us, I want to hear from Sister Myrtle. I want to hear from Sister Myrtle. Lady Myrtle, are you with us? She fall asleep on me. All right, so I am not hearing from Sister Meryl. So I am going to go over to Glacia and she's going to come now and speak to us about her experience being raised by a single parent, a single mother.
So good evening, all, or good night. I am a product of being raised by a single parent, but not just only a single parent, but I was raised by my extended family. And
Oh,
so growing up, while my mom had to go out and work out of parish, my grandparents would take care of me. My I my mom tried her very best to ensure that I lacked nothing because she didn't want me to go out of the way to try and get what I claim that she couldn't give me. But I learned also to be mindful that it's not everywhere I'm able to go because
Mm-hmm.
the money has to ensure I go to school and stuff. It's not everything and not everywhere that I wanted to go, I went. I learned importance of saving. So my lunch money, whatever lunch money I got for the week, I would put down $100 or $200 each day towards something that I want. So if I wanted something, I know it was, I put down that money. So I have that money as my personal money to do what I want. Because not every time when I want something or I go to my mom, she'll be able to say, give it to me because my mom is at the ATM and she has to work so hard. It's so sweet that she has to work hard. She works so hard. So and growing up with a single parent, but with a God fearing mother at it all and a God fearing family, I
Amen.
never was one to go out of my way to do other things because I got baptized really early. I ensured I went to church. You could never miss church with my grandmother. Every Sunday, you have to go to church. I have to be on time for Sunday school. Even if she might not be there for Sunday school, she put you dress you, comb your ear, and send you with somebody to ensure you're at Sunday school early. So missing church was never an option for me. And she always said,
Amen.
go to school and come home. So even if I was involved in extracurricular activities, that might go 4 o'clock. I never want to stay out till 6, 7, 8. You're wondering where your child was. No. Because I said, my grandma said, all right, you're going to extracurricular activity over at 4. I expect by the latest 5 p.m. you should be in your house. And my grandma, my mom never believed in hitting me. They believe that once they talk and I have an understanding, I should listen. Once they say to me, this is right, this is wrong, and they explain to me all the consequences that will happen if I
Mhm.
take the wrong route, I have to decide. For instance, as a child, if your mom said, don't put your hand in the fire, 'cause it's gonna burn you. If I want to go and put my hand in the fire, me I go feel the consequence of the fire burning me. And that's
indeed.
so, I think sometimes Some people say, make him go and go learn and to work for himself. And sometimes you will learn from others' mistakes. I can say
Yeah.
that I do not regret growing up with my mom and my extended family as single parent because God know why. And even though my father was absent from my life, there were times where you feel a little weak or you see other kids where they have their father there at school, they might ask, so where's the dad or something of that sort. I may not be able to say why, but I never lacked love. So I never felt like I need to get love elsewhere because my grandma taught me, my mom taught me that if, if I don't feel like they love me, God loves me.
Amen.
He paid that price for me. And so even if because even when I go through different phases in life, because you're here now, when you go to that teenager phase, you feel like your parents don't love you, this and whatever it may be. But I always say, God loves me. Because sometimes when our parents say to us, even as teenagers, don't know I can't send you go there. You say, why mommy, you don't love me? Are you this? Are you ready for take it on your parents? But they don't know what they're shielding you from. Yeah, I grew up, I grew up a little bit of the old time in a sense, because grew up with the grandparents. You're not gonna grow up like how children are being brought up. No. But we never had secrets. Never had secrets. So anything that is happening, she come when I come home from school, she say, how was your day? Tell me what's happening at school. Even if they weren't present at all the PTA meetings when I got home,
Mm.
ensure my homework was done. If they can't help me, they ensure they get somebody to help me. I do extra classes. I have other ways that I never, if I have to go to the library, they get somebody to go with me to the library to ensure that. So I never had with assignments not being done, schoolwork not being done, no. Because all the way, the first they go, they say, all right, but TV, cartoon, that said stuff at 5. So when they come home from school, they allow you to watch the cartoon till maybe 5 o'clock. They say, already stop now, go take up a book and go and do your homework. And you have to do your homework before you go to bed. You can't in the morning before the morning. So mommy have homework to do because they ensure that you get your homework done. And it's so important as I admire parents, even if they're not able, if they're not at that educational level to help their children, they try their best to ensure that others are there to provide that assistance where they cannot
Mm.
give. I love my mother to the moon and back because she never give up on me. She always a fight for me. She always ensure that I have the best that she can give, and I have learned to appreciate that. That's it. You have to learn to appreciate the
Yes.
best. Maybe my mother's best might not be the best of what other parents can provide for their children. But I learned to appreciate her best because a lot of sacrifice she has made. I watched my mom sacrifice a lot of things for herself just for my sake to ensure that I am comfortable, to ensure that I am well. And that is the love of a parent. So I can say, no, I never had like how somebody describe all that. But maybe I might be an odd one out because I've heard of how some persons growing up with single parent. But as a God fearing single parent, whether a man or a woman, their children will always be successful. Because once God is in the midst, everything will fall into place. So that's just my say.
Thank you very much, Glacia, for sharing. But one question I am going to ask you, though, have you ever wondered what life would have been like if your father was involved, if you were raised by both parents? Have you ever wondered that?
Yes, sometimes when you were younger, when I was younger, I wondered and I might have asked God why or how comes others might have their fathers and I might not have my dad with me. And growing up expecting or seeing other persons, you might feel a little remorse, you might feel maybe a little bit jealous to say, you might feel like maybe you're abandoned or something of that sort. But what my mom always showed me is that she loves me. So my mom, the love that my mom had for me covered all. both parents in a sense. So I never felt like I was not loved. Never felt like I was not wanted. Because yes, you're gonna say, well, growing up, what would life be with growing up with my dad? How would it be? Maybe we go out, how would that interaction be with my father? Because they always say girls are daddy's girl and boys are for
Yeah.
mothers. They always say that. And so yeah, you might wonder, and you might say, and but I've learned to be contented in a way, the way that my life is, and I appreciate everything my family done for me. Because even though I never had my father there, I had my uncle and my grandfather, and so they played that father figure role, and so I had that bond with my uncle and my grandfather. It's not like I had that absence of a male figure, but I had that male presence there with my father and my grandfather, with my uncle, sorry, and my grandfather. So I found the balance. Yeah.
Okay. Very well said, Glacia. Thank you very much for sharing. Jason, are you ready? We are ready for you.
Always, always, always.
Is it ready? All right. You may go ahead.
All right, good evening, everyone. Good evening. It is a pleasure to be on this show again. Let's talk. Um, so I used to get a lot of beating. Let me start with that. I was a very rude young man.
See, we're
I used to,
animated. Depends on you.
I used to run away for days. Yeah. Gone to my friend them yard and all of these things. I used to give a lot of trouble. Um, I had some experiences though that kind of um pulled me really close to my mom. Um, I saw her many times struggle, many times crying, many times hearing conversations and um family members talking down to her, stuff like that. I won't say all the details, but um very, 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 very rough to me. And I've always said I really don't want my mom to really stay in that position, or I will try to defend her as much as I can. I One memory that comes to me clearly was one day she had asked for some soap powder to wash our clothes, and a big argument came up over it. And I remember when she got the fab was like thrown to her, and she took it up and she went and she sat around the blue bath pan, and rain was falling the day. And right where we have a little step down to go around the back of the house. I remember, I think I was about 5 or 6 those times. And I remember clearly like it was yesterday. And she sat around the pan and she started crying, tears running down her eyes. And all I could just hug her and say, as what I see my daughter do so many times, I hug her and say, Mommy, it's going to be okay. Something of that sort. And I remember we had this struggle, man, because it seemed like my life was just going down a negative path. I didn't want to stay in the house. I think maybe looking back, it's just things that were happening there at the time. I rather my friend's home more than mine. I used to get in trouble because I didn't want to stay in the yard and stuff like that. But it let me know people. It let me know how people are. I got more understanding of how people were, and it helped me when I started to straighten up now. Um, my mom did so many things to try to make sure that we were okay. I must tell you, I didn't miss one outing in primary school. I didn't miss one outing in high school. And the reason for that is my mom always tried to put things. So we tell her like a few days, weeks before, tell her, mommy, by June this is going to happen, and I tell her, nobody no bashi like we. Nobody no. When you go on trip, your thermos full with juice, your bag of you have chips. You could never know that we were struggling, because she didn't want that appearance out there of us. She wanted us to enjoy what the normal kids would enjoy. I won't say the rich, the normal kids. I remember my first, and these are the little things. I remember my first day at school. When at Maypen Primary. And I remember that day she also bought me a watch. So she always try in each little parts to put her input, and try to make you feel like just you're not locked off because you don't have your father around. And you can ask her. I used to ask my father a lot, and maybe it used to maybe hurt her, or maybe it used to worry her. I remember one time I left school and I went into the market where they said my grandfather was. I went to look and ask questions because I wanted to know where my father was. Um, the good thing about it though is that my mom really tried to stay close to me. She tried to really encourage me, and because I became a big brother, I started had I had to have this type of leadership. I had to take on this leadership role. I had to kind of reshape the way how I do things. And even from that young age, I really tried to set an example for my brother and my sister, my lovely sister who had passed off, you know. And um I tried I pushed myself in sports. I got awards for those. My sister put herself in sports too. Got awards for them. We tried to make our mom proud because we saw some of the treatment that she was getting just because she couldn't afford it, just because she didn't have her own stuff, as you would put it. It wasn't her home that she was living in. And sometimes, at times, I felt that she was being taken advantage of. So for me, it's a part of some of what caused me to change is trying to protect her, or trying to be the best, trying to go against the grain. Person saw me as not going to make it, and I pushed as much as I could. I pushed as much, and she was always there. She was always there. Jay, you can do it. I remember when I did exam CXCs, and I didn't get the CXCs, and she saw my face, and I was down. And my mom said, Jay, you can go back and do some more subjects, man. And I went back to school, and I got those subjects, and then I did some evening class also and got some more subjects. And and she was asking me, am I going to go to college? What I'm going to do? And she tried to just to put me in the right direction. Jay, sir, you can always there. Put it that way. She was always there. And that is what I'm saying. At these points in my life, I can remember she has always been there. always trying to give her support.
You're
It,
sounding
it
a
and
little bit far away.
I'm sorry. She was always, you hear me better now? Sorry. Um, she was always there giving her support. It wasn't money. It was that moral. It was that support to say, Jay, I know you can do it. I know that they said this, but you can make another step. I know you may not have all of this, but you can push through, and that for me was one of the driving force behind me pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. When person said I couldn't do it, she was saying you can do it. You know, when person when and it, I guess, with her constantly saying it, it drew other persons to me. It drew other persons trying to assist, trying to help me. I didn't have a father figure, but there were people around me who gave their 2 cents. There was a workshop beside me where we had a lot of men over there who taught me woodwork and taught me carpentry. You know, um, I had a high school teacher, Mr. Atkinson, and Mr. Lee. Those men were very integral, right? In high school, when I got saved, I met this gentleman by the name of Johnny Gale, and that man, as even now, is a father figure to me. He has input so much into this man that is here right now, and I'm thankful for that. But not to stray from what we're talking about tonight, my mom really, really was that person who always encouraged, always made sure that we don't look the worst, quote unquote. Um, you know, always trying to put in her effort just to let us know that she is there and she's there to help and assist with us. She is one of the motivations that I had in life and I still have in life, to make her proud.
All right, thank you for sharing, Mr. Boy. But how has that shaped you as a young man now, and having your own family?
Um, One thing I always say, I don't want my daughter to not know that I am there for her. That is it. I don't ever. I want my daughter to know that her father is there in anything, in everything. Um, it has made me realize that with the right motivation, your child can become anything in this world. You know, uh,
Yes.
I, and that is what she was doing with me. She was really motivating me. There was times that I had to get some scolding because she never spared the rod and spoil a child. I was telling a young gentleman the other day, he should have met my mother in her prime. Yeah. Oh, yes, a long time me tick like this, and my mother hold me down. Yeah, and put it for me. As a teenager. So,
Put you in
you know,
space.
you understand. So and that was not an easy job because I'm telling you, me have body and thick and something. Right? But you hold me down there. At least I was not fighting back, but I'm just saying. Um, so she showed me that there are different ways of dealing with stuff. And even now, I see a different side of her where with my nephews. I could say she's a single mother in that sense also because she's raising
It's the
three
mother all
boys.
over again.
Yeah, all over again with three children, right? And she's doing well. But the approach this time she has been doing it different. You know, she does it with more. Yeah, the beating partner there again, like that. um she's more she does the same encouragement, and I love when she takes the one of any one of the child away, like one away, and she explains to the child what is the issue, what is the problem, and why she's upset, so I can say her mothering skills have
Improved.
grown, and obviously she doesn't stay in one route. She's not in one mode at all the time. She know when to change it up, when to be loud,
Flexible, yeah?
and exactly flexible. That's a good word. So um yeah, yeah, that's what I would say.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing, Mr. Boyd. All right. So, ladies, we are going to share now our final thoughts. Any encouraging words that we want to share and give to single mothers, especially we have a lot of teenage moms who are single parent, and well, I wouldn't say we have a lot of teenage boys who are single parents. I'm not aware of those, but I know that we have a lot of single teenage mom, and we want to encourage anyone who's watching this evening or will watch after this live would have been posted. We want to encourage them. But before I come to you, lady, once more, I want to check to see if Sister Mariel is with us and wants to add anything this evening. You are very silent. Are you there, Sister Mariel? I guess she is not with us this evening. All right, so you may go ahead. Who wants to go first?
All right. What I would like to say, to single mother, single father. All right. Make Jesus Christ be the head of your life. If Jesus Christ is head of your life, things will run smooth. Trust Him, depend upon Him, and then further along, you will see how life work out. You will see how things turn out. Because when my experience with my kids them, um, true, me not what I realize say, there's so many stuff going on, so many stuff going on, but to then and now is two different things.
Yes.
You understand? I say where God, I say where God have blessed me so much. So to single parents, I just put God first. If you put God first, it will work. It will work. If you put God first, it will work. You know, pretty, you not go pretty, you not go better rose, but it will work. In a ending, when you look back and look where you come from, then you say, God, you're really good. It will work. Trust God. It will work. So all me I say to single parents, just trust God. Trust God. That's my final word.
All right.
Trust
Thank
God.
you very much. Thank you very much, Miss Powell. Sister Chantel, Tanisha, are you ready to share final thoughts?
All right. For me, I can say I'm also a product of um, single parents because even at age 18, if I stand before my father at that time, I would not know that he is my father. So I have that experience as well. And so being a single parent, you want your child to get the best. So
Yes.
for me, um, young single parents out there, once you have a child, you have to automatically grow up. Now you have a big responsibility and the onus is on you, right? So you will have to know that, hey, I am now a parent and I have to put my foot in a bigger size shoe. So for me, single parents are always strong, especially females, right? Your strength will always come from God. Just always remember to pray in everything. You pray and you keep praying, right?
Amen.
So whether you're a Christian or not, you have to know God and pray. Put yourself and your family in His hand, and everything automatically fall into place. So when it says seek ye first the kingdom of God and everything will come after, that is actually true. And you will wonder where you find the strength and where you get the courage, where you get the power and every single thing that God has given to you. You're going to wonder where it is all coming from. So being a
Amen.
single parent, you have to just keep focused. You have to keep your eyes open. You can't think like a child anymore, right? You have to be thinking on ways how to grow your child. And
Amen.
single parent doesn't necessarily mean you alone growing the child because sometimes you'll have the support of other people. And so
Yes.
it helps. It really helps because also for me, if I never have the support of my family, I think it would be much harder on me. But the support that I get and continue to get, right, it helps a whole lot. But single parents come with maturity, and so you will have to just make up your mind and know, say, hey, I am now a parent, and this is my job.
Thank you so much, Sister Chantel, for sharing. Over to you, Tanisha.
Yeah, the most I can say, being a single parent, is when you reach a roadblock, instead of being depressed and all, just remember that God is there for you. And you just need to
Amen.
pray. And sometimes you just need to sit down, take a break for yourself. Don't Single parenting is a fast thing. You keep on moving, moving, head moving, everything moving, and even if you sit, your head is all over the place. What to do next? What you gonna do? How to manage the money? How to manage the home? Whatever, all of that. You have to take a break. You have to breathe. You have to take a break and pray.
Relax.
Without that, the fasting, trust me, it'll kill you quick. So you have to take a break for yourself. Take some time out. Have to take a time out. And I believe prioritize, make plans. Sometimes you forget them, so jot them down. You
Yes.
have to do stuff like those, and you have to pray. Just pray. Praying is very important in a single parent life. Whether you're a Christian or not, you have to pray. I'm a single parent before I became a Christian. And believe me, I think single parenting bring me closer to God. There
Yes.
are many times, many situations, many circumstances, but just have to pray.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Until I become a Christian, I realize that I still have to pray because
Amen.
there's no better rose. Nothing in single parenting is better rose. Even if you have the money enough, you're gonna have the work. enough.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you're not working, and the child father sending whatever and all of that can help to solve your financial problem, you still have to be involved. You still have to do double work. You still have to help with the homework. You still have to be a teacher, a nurse, a doctor. You have to be lawyer,
Yes.
counselor, everything in one in the same. It doesn't matter how it happen, no matter what happen, you still have to. It's just a fast. It's the fast lane. Single parenting is the fast lane. But while in the fast lane, you have to take some time to pray and have to find some time for yourself. So sometimes you have to switch over. Else it's gonna be too much on you, too much stress, too
Yes.
much pressure. And you have to be responsible.
Very.
Responsibility is very important because if you don't be responsible and think very fast, you may just end up choose something else and leave your children in danger.
That is true. That
That's
is
that,
so
that's
true,
my
Tanisha.
final say.
All right. Thank you so much, Tanisha, for sharing. However, guess what?
Thank you
We
for
have
having me.
You are most welcome, and I'm happy you are here and you are willing to share with us this evening. So we have another parent joining just now, and before we go, I want to give her a chance to share her experience as a single parent. You may go ahead now, La Teresa. You are
Good night, everyone.
good night. Welcome.
Um, for me, my experience, I'd say, it's not something that we all expect to take on, but things happen, and when it happens, we have to just, like Sister Chantel says, put our foot out there and be the best parent that we can be, even if we have to try to play the both. We can't play the other role, but we can try, right?
Yes.
And I find it hard sometimes because for the child, when they understand that the other parent isn't around, and then they start asking you, "Mommy, where is daddy or mommy?" And you're like, "Oh, I really answer this question to a 2 year old, you know?" And it kind of hurts sometimes because you can't give up what they need
Yes.
entirely. You can never really fill that gap entirely. And it hurts sometimes because you're saying you're young, where you really understand, but they understand. And then they're going to go with that. And as the parent, you're hurting because you're thinking of that. Your child is hurting. So
Yes.
it's always a little pain there. But as it said, um, once you have support around
Yes.
you, it helps. And it's just helping you because it can't really mend what you're really needing. But at least we can find comfort.
Yes.
We can find comfort in things, and we can look to God. Yes, baby, you want peanut punch? Ask and teacher for the peanut punch. I'm talking. I'm talking from the bottom. Sorry about that. Hold on.
That's okay. All right. So while Teresa gets back to us, I just want to share some of the highlights that I got from this evening's discussion and sharing as it relates to single parenting. What I gather is that as a single parent, you need to show your children love. Love is important important. You have to shower them with love. Also, you need to communicate with your child or with your children. Let them know what is going on, what is expected of them. It is also important for you to be involved in your child's life, whether it is at school, at church, their friends, whatever it is. Know what is going on. So you have to be involved. And the next thing, you have to be a responsible parent to your child or your children. Yes, La Teresa, continue. You may go ahead.
Yes, yes. I was here in the part where you say shower them with love. I
Yes.
tell you, Sister Boyd, you can shower them with love and thing, and you try to couple it all sort of way you can. They still
You're still
uh,
avoid.
there's still a void. I tell you, because it's a 2-year old I'm dealing with, and it is there. And
Yes.
I give this little girl every love and affection that I can. And there and I try to, and the way, and that is why I say God in our life is very important, because if it was not for God giving me peace and with how I deal with situation, it could have been differently, right? So,
Yes.
like I said, you give them all the love, but still there is still a void that can never fully be closed off with just you as a single parent. And that part is what I find hard. Not even the financial part so much, not as God always provide. It's just that part, because they don't want them growing up like how me personally grew up, always wanting my daddy's love, because daddy wasn't always around. And I never wanted that for her, and already I can see it and feel it and hear it from her. So
Yes.
it's not about money, because you can have all the money in the world, right? And it's not just about time, because you can give them all the time in the world, all of your
Yes.
time actually, you know. You're there for everything, like Sister Aline said. You have to be there to nurse. When you're tired, you still have to be there. You still have to do the piggyback riding. You have to be the clown for them. You have to be anything and everything that they want you to be. And all that you can never you can never feel fully give the mother and father like what they need, because when for example, my daughter, whenever she goes out and she will see my friends or other male, or so, she's attached to them instantly.
Okay.
And that is hard sometimes, because even me as a mother, and I'm like, no, come, and she's crying after, and she said, no, uncle, uncle. She called them uncle, uncle. What
Yes.
really do you do? You understand? So that is just my little give and take.
So, what encouragement though can you give to a single mother, a young single mother out there like you? What encouragement can you give to them, or a single father too?
The only encouragement I will honestly say and give is, no matter the situation, what a single parent may be going through, when it comes to separation, because if the other half has passed off, that's different. But when it comes to separation, the only encouragement I can give the parent is never talk bad about the other parent.
Okay.
Never talk bad about the other parent. You see, the same glow that you want to be in that child's eye, allow
Yeah.
them to have that glow
For
of
the
the
other
other
parent.
parent in their eye. When they get older and understand, they will reason things out. They will understand things. They will see things how it is. But then
Yes.
they will know that mommy or daddy never um put a dam on the love and the affection, or how they want to see the other parent.
I love that. I love that.
Just never do that, because it's not about you. And it's
Yes.
never about you anymore once you have a child. It's
It's
about the
about the
child
child.
and what's best for the child.
Yes.
So that is my encouragement. No matter how hard and painful it may be, just never do that. Because you want your child to be happy. And I believe that that makes them happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So thank
That's
you so much for sharing, Sister Lateresa. You put the icing on the cake. We have ended on a good note. I like what you said. Don't ever
yeah.
try to put a damn or to speak bad about the other parent. Be the same. Let that parent have the same glow. That's what you said, La Teresa. Let this parent have the
Yes.
same glow.
Whatever good times there were, talk about the good times.
Talk about the good times and leave the
Whatever good
bad
times
times. I
there
love
were,
that.
talk about the good
Brown said
times.
in the chat, word. Yes, man, I
Right.
love that. Yes.
And tell them that the
Yeah.
parent love them. Tell them that the parent love them so they know
Yes,
that they
yes.
are
Don't speak
loved.
bad and try to bash the father or the mother in front
Yes.
of the child, and it can cause a strain on your relationship that you have with the child because
Yes.
of that. So, my single parent, you are strong, you are beautiful, you are resilient, and you can do it. So, I just want to encourage you all this evening. Don't stop trying. Don't stop trying to be the best parent or continue to be the best parent that you can be for your child or for your children. God bless you all. And let me say once more, thank you all for joining. Thank you all for sharing. You are greatly appreciated. And I know that out there somebody out there, a single mother or a single father who was watching or who will be watching, they have learned so much from what you have said. Listen, you're still there. You're welcome. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you, Glacia, for joining. I really appreciated you all being here. I too, I am a product of a single mother. My father was here in the area, but I just did not grow up with my father. My mother, she did her best and she is still doing. A mother never ceased to be a mother. I can recall some I can recall growing up, she used to work at Victoria. I don't know if you're familiar with Victoria Banana Company. And she would have to leave out like sometimes after 5, after 4 in the mornings, just to go and catch the truck to bring them to work. And she will be back in the late hours after 12, well, in the morning again. And guess what? My mother, she never left home one day and not prepare our breakfast and our dinner. Can you imagine a mother waking up and preparing rice and peas at that hour of the morning, having to leave out after 4 and after 5 in the morning? So, my mother, as you can see, she did her best. Yes, I turned out pretty well. And I say kudos to her, hats off to her, because she raised what? Five, five children all by herself. And she did wonderful. So we can do it, not we. You can do it. You can do it. So continue to do your best and live your best life for your children. Be that example. Be that man. Be that woman that you want your daughter or your son to be. Be his or her first example of who that individual wants to be in life. Let them be able to emulate you for your lifestyle. All right. So, bye bye, everyone. Have a good night and God bless you all. Sister Mariel, you are a product, but you're not talking from night. I don't know where have you been? You're gone. I don't know what happened. Sister Mariel is texting that she is a product of a single parent also, and I wanted to hear from her this evening, but I am not sure what happened with her. but maybe some other time. All right, guys. So have a blessed one, and thank you all again for joining. It is greatly appreciated. Bye bye. Mr. Mary said she was sleeping. You drop asleep. All right, all right. Next time, you can go watch the video and type in the chat. You can go type in the chat in the comment area and tell us about your experience, you being a product of a single parent. All right, guys. Let me end this broadcast now. Peace out.